Budget Blinds. Visit their showroom or call today for a free in-home consultation.
And Moses joins us for a first look at sports. Now the trade deadline has passed. The Lloydminster Bobcats can breathe a little easier, but not for long.
Hey, this is a tough time for a lot of these athletes, too, not knowing if they're going to have a new address by January. But now the roster is finally set for this club, and it's time to worry about chemistry and wins. Nermanisa reports.
I didn't know much about the team. I just knew it was cold, very cold up here. I was playing with our captain, Mulder, I think his name is. Still getting to know the names, but Mulder and another centerman. But yeah, I'll definitely get to know them.
From the weather to the name of his teammates, Eric Benchadel has a few things to get used to. That's just a part of life as an athlete traded to a new team. The club acquired 2 forwards and a defenseman prior to the trade deadline this past weekend. Benchadel, Ryan Chenouth, and Griffin Mumby. Gord Thibodeau says the Chenouth trade was the one to get the ball rolling.
We felt we needed to add a bit more of that leadership in the dressing room. He's a 20-year-old that's played 3 years of Western League, and anything that can help our leaders get this team going in the right direction was going to be a positive for us. And Eric is a guy that we think has good skill level, very strong for his size, and maybe hasn't scored as much as we think he can. So he's a guy that's quick, and we think he's going to add a bit of physicality and strength to our game down low. And Griffin Mumby was one of those situations where he popped open, and we couldn't pass up a quality defenseman that's got Western League experience.
With so many trades made this season, it's understandable players would be gripping their sticks a little too tight, nervous that they might be next. But now there's no more excuses.
It was a little sigh of relief, I think. Everyone was a little uptight. Just like with any team, you're always wondering if you're going to get that call into the office that you got traded. I think it's nice that it's over now. Now we can really focus on getting the team together as what we got and go out there and win some games.
We could feel it today in the first practice. It's a whole different vibe. There's a lot of guys that, we started practice saying, congratulations, you're still here. Because everyone's been wondering. So yeah, it's going to take some stress off them. But again, if we don't play better, there's more stress coming.
Nermanisa, Newcap Sports.
All right, turning our attention to a different sport now. After a disappointing end of the first half of the 2015-16 season, the Lakeland Rustlers men's volleyball team started January in fine form by getting a split with the third-place Kings Eagles. Now, the question for the team going forward is, can they play at a high level on a nightly basis? John Ryan has more.
It's a happy new year thus far for Rustlers men's volleyball. The 3-1 victory over the Eagles on Saturday was a spectacular defensive display from the home team and proof for Coach Taylor Dyer that the work in practice is starting to pay off.
To get a split to start the second semester is real good for us, especially the hole we kind of dug ourselves in the first semester.
Captain Sam Dwivai continues to carry the squad offensively and defensively, but it was the supporting performances of players like fourth-year setter Vincenzo Saporito that helped swing the match in Lakeland's favor.
Of course, Sam's going to be there every night to be our kind of steady influence, but that didn't help us in the first semester. We need those supporting guys around him, and that was our concern. And I think putting Vincenzo into the mix on Saturday showed that he could kind of mix things around and make the other guys a little bit more successful.
I knew their best position was middle, so I felt like if we found their holes in that position, then that would break their offense down.
Saporito has played the role of utility player throughout his Rustler career, which is made easier by the team's on and off court chemistry.
Used to my role just going off the bench or whatever Taylor wants me to do, so just friendships off the court helps us be really positive with each other on the court.
Going into the matchup against rival Concordia this weekend, the focus for the squad is consistency.
I think we just got to make sure that we stay consistent and we don't make errors and give away free points.
Josh Ryan, Newcap Sports.
Now, in 4 months, Lloydminster will be host to one of the biggest junior hockey tournaments in the country. Drew Miller takes a look at what the city has done in preparation for the RBC Cup in this week's Beyond the Boards.
The Bobcats season is halfway done, and in 4 months, this hall, these seats, will be filled with hockey fans from all over Canada for the RBC Cup.
Now that hockey season's here, it's real to people. It's been such a long time coming. It always seemed like it was in the distant future, but now that the Bobcat season's ramping up, trade deadline's over, playoffs are approaching, people are really starting to get excited.
In preparation of the tournament, the city has put in an outdoor rink outside of City Hall.
It's a really good obviously publicity move to have that skating rink for the community to use, and it's also great advertising right on the corner of Highway 16 and 17.
A rink that has been well received.
I've driven by it a couple times with people and they always say, oh wow, look at that, it looks really cool. It's such a great visual there with the City Hall, the gorgeous landscape right there, and the two main highways. I mean, everyone can see it.
Now that the trade deadline has passed, the team is able to focus on what's ahead.
The roster is set, the pressure is on the team to, obviously perform well the rest of the AJHL season and into playoffs to really help build the hype, and all of our eyes are on May.
One thing is for sure, the city of Lloydminster will be ready to cheer on their team. Drew Miller, Newcap Sports.